Welcome to another edition of Turn 6 Garage, and today we're going to be discussing the year on the rental platforms. This is the confession of all the interesting and fun things that I've had to clean up out of rental cars over the last year, on Uber Car Share mostly, or all of it for up to the point of filming. And yes, you'll notice I'm wearing the same clothes as the CX3 video. They're being filmed literally on the same time on the same road when I've got time to film them. This is a sort of a confession of everything I've had to clean up out of both the business vehicles I had to deal with in summer last year, as well as my personal fleet of rental cars. So we'll start with the boring ones, my GPs, and we'll start with the Ford. Now, the Ford had a very uneventful time on car share. That is until May of 24, when some loser in South Australia thought it was a fantastic idea to break into it and steal the lockbox, but didn't do anything else. Given my appalling run of luck in that place, not a surprise at all that some loser had to have a go there. I had one that forgot to put them in the lockbox, and I've had the car unlocked lifted unlocked a few times, but no real juicy ones on the Ford. It's been a great car, and it'll be a great car for when I'm going places in it during my studies and I don't want to show, well, I want to take it into places where I can't really park anything bigger than a Ford KA. The Renault DCI, well, I had it misfueled once, but that was it really. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the harmonic balancer on the V-belt last year with disastrous results. Sorry to that poor renter, I really should have done that earlier, and he decided to drop the belt. Nice. But again, apart from that, the DCI had a fantastic run. That was the car I couldn't do without, and that car is the one I'm desperately trying to replace for the next platforms, because it's too old for both DriveMate and Turo. It will be privately rented, but at the end of the day, a platform car that had that economy, was that nice to drive, and that robust after I sorted its issues out. That DCI was a model of reliability. Not a thing went on it, not a problem at all with it. It was a fantastic car. It was able to do anything that could be thrown at it. But that's the one I'm now looking to replace, because it's not eligible anymore. The Fiat, well, someone decided to take the Fiat 500 off-roading. 1.2 Fiat, and you think that'd be a great off-road car, and basically destroyed the front shockers on that car. They weren't brilliant anyway, but they destroyed the front shockers. That was a nice one to have to deal with. A little good lesson though with rental cars: make sure you life your components, and make sure that you put in good quality components so that if they drive like an idiot, the car will withstand it. So that was something that happened with the Fiat. But other than that, it wasn't much of an issue with the Fiat. Now for the juicy ones, the business cars. These were a series of 6-year-old Kia Sportages, about 5 Sportages, an Outlander, 2018 Outlander, a 2017 Golf, a 2016 Captiva diesel, and then this car, the 2017 Mazda CX3, which had a bit of an interesting time when it was being rented under the company after someone threw the trackers away on it. So the Mazda, I came to this vehicle because we didn't know where the trackers were. The trackers said it was in Bendigo, but it was returned, and the picture said it was in Oakley, where it should have been. So I had to find it and work out what the hell had actually happened. So, and when I came to this Mazda, the OBD port in the Mazda has to be, well, we had to push the OBD port off its little plastic part because it's too easy to get to, and it was just dangling the dongles. So what happened was, with the Mazda, it had been thrown out. The tracker was in the back seat. And had a particularly suspicious smell to it. Yes, it had a very grassy type smell, very earthy type smell. I think you can probably see where this is going. It didn't have the what I believe to be weed in the car, but someone had smoked weed in it. And yes, I know what weed smells like in cars because unfortunately, 2 of my cars, before I acquired them, someone had smoked weed in them, the 325 and my dad's Renault Megane 225. Nice. Not nice. So that was fun. And then of course, yeah, that was hard to get out of that car. I didn't really go out of that car until it got detailed. Still has some smells with this car. Its previous owner wasn't exactly clean, but it's slowly going out there. It's going to get one of those Jelly Belly air fresheners as usual. And well, we have the Mitsubishi. Well, that had a bit of a crash when someone wasn't looking. It wasn't particularly bad. Someone also knocked the tracker off the Mitsubishi, and I had to spend half a day hunting around Caulfield North, East St Kilda, trying to find this vehicle. Yeah, that was fun. Having concealed OBD ports like in Fiats, Renaults and the Ford KA is a good thing because you don't tend to have these problems with cars, whereas Japanese cars, because the OBD ports are very easily accessible, it makes life harder when you're putting a tracker on the OBD port. The Kias, well, they were a mixed bag. I would say they gave me some sleepless nights in February, March, that's for sure. The Sportage, the 2000, so one of the Sportages went, did some quasi off-roading, and the person who we believe was at the driving it smashed its front suspension over a pretty decent sized bump and broke a tie rod end, yet they were never going to admit to it. One of the reasons why we ultimately stopped this. Throughout the entire life of all the Kias, they were being driven by pretty entitled losers. I kid you not, they thought they were the stuff in a 6-year-old Kia Sportage, SI Premium, front-wheel drive. Yeah. They smashed it over the bump, but then said it was our fault for not maintaining it. Well, that's a bit of a thing when the tie rod arm is bent. I guess that's a bit of a problem. But of course, Uber never compensated because they didn't bother about mechanical things, quite literally because they couldn't care less. So that car literally was being held on the road by its lane keep assist. Literally was keeping it in the lines to mask the bent tie rod. And if you turned it off, the thing would just fall violently to the left. Nice. Then we have the 2 red Sportages were left with lots of empty tanks of petrol. And, then you saw where they were going, and literally there were tourist rentals. They didn't really have as much fun stuff attached to them. However, there were a few times they were left unlocked. Thank goodness I drove past them, or maybe they would have been nicked. Someone would have helped themselves to a Sportage. No Kia challenges were done on any of them, mercifully. The best one though with the Sportages is the punctured tyre. Now this was one of the Sportages, one of the not so good ones, had a punctured tyre. Small problem, they drove on it quite some way. Wasn't a small tyre puncture, oh no, that's too nice for this one. Had a big, think of one of those big builder's nails that's used to secure a house frame. Yeah, that was in the tyre. And they kept driving it. They said, no, they left it. They were too stupid not to see, clearly, because you would have noticed. Everywhere. Big thumping great nail in there. Too stupid to notice that. The person driving it was a bit of an interest. I don't know how to say that. How could you not notice that? And yeah, I had to change the tyre on that. And I looked and went, how could you not notice? There was a thing with those SUVs. The reason I don't privately rent or rent on any platforms any of the SUVs is because, well, the way in which people drive these cars is they think they're entitled. They think that it's a rental car. Now, there is a culture to bashing up rental cars, and having now owned them, I treat a lot with respect because I now understand the poor sod at the end of the line who's just trying to make some money off it, like myself. So for me, it's always going to be a shitbox because, to put it mildly, those renting cars, if it's getting you to work or it's getting you out of the rain, you're not going to drive like a full Lancia. You're going to drive it with some respect. If it's a tourist hack, then they'll go pick up drugs, they'll bash it over bumps, they'll go on hot, they'll do things with it thinking that the car is invincible given it's an SUV. Whatever, it just isn't. It's a jacked up saloon car. So yeah, that's the sum of the stories, some of the ones I can say, a few I can't say at this point, by far in rental land. So, thank you for watching. If you like what we do, remember to like and subscribe.